So let's get started with the Masters in Psychology and the Mental Health and Wellness webinar. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Webster. I am the Program Manager with the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. I'm over the Behavioral Health Sciences, Mental Health and Wellness, Undergraduate Counseling, and the Undergraduate and Graduate Psychology programs. And I'm going to be your webinar host for today.
I'm Adam Eklund. I'm just helping with moderation. I work for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences as one of the directors.
And for those who can, you want to introduce yourself on this webinar?
I've unmuted people who wish to be unmuted.
Okay. Unmute.
What do we have on the line?
You can also type in your introductions as well and what courses you teach.
Okay. Type message there.
No responses? No one wants to introduce themselves and what courses they teach?
Hello, I'm Dr. Moriel McDuffie. I teach the, I can teach a couple courses, including community. Oh my gosh, I can't, the names are so long. It's one on research and documentation. And then also, it's a community course. I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking at my screen, so I couldn't quote you the name because it's just so long. I apologize for that.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you.
We have a doctoral instructor, Ajay Das, teaching Psych 975 and dissertation courses as well. So welcome.
Welcome.
And Yvonne DeMoss, she teaches the addictions grad level courses.
Thank you. So we can go over the agenda for today. So we're going to be going over our enrollment numbers, talking about some program updates with the graduate psychology and mental health and wellness programs, going over curriculum development, some course data, and then ending with some faculty and student resources. So just something to start off with, niche.com 2018 rankings. I think it's some fun information for us to look at where GCU ranked at. So number 7 out of best college campuses in America. That's exciting. Number 7 out of 145 for best online colleges in America. And then best college dorms in America, number 6 out of 1,371. And the next one, we also have some information on our professors. So this is reflecting ground and online faculty. If you look at the Rate My Professors compared to ASU, U of A, NAU, looks like GCU is doing pretty well. And the categories for professors are passionate about the topics they teach, professors are engaging and easy to understand, professors care about their students' success, and professors are approachable and helpful when needed. So I think that's exciting and motivating to see that our professors look like they're doing a good job. So thank you. Just going over some numbers of where we're at. So I am just going to be focusing on the Masters in Psychology and the Mental Health and Wellness programs here. So if we look at this, these are the Master of Science and Psychology enrollment numbers as of today. So we're looking at around 362 for the general psychology emphasis, forensic psychology, 330, the industrial and organizational psychology, so 325. So we're totaling 1,414 right now for our Masters in Psych. So we have some pretty good numbers there. For the graduate certificates, so these are the graduate certs in psychology. So we can see those numbers, a life coaching certificate at 112, at 22 for the IO psychology certificate. So this is totaling 180. So again, we have some good numbers in our psychology certificate programs. So this is going to be for our master's in mental health and wellness, as well as the current graduate certificate in mental health and wellness. So we also have some good numbers there. The emphasis in family dynamics is at 217. Emphasis in community mental health administrations at 61. So we're totaling 596 for our mental health and wellness enrollment. And these numbers keep growing, so that's exciting to know as well. So just going over some program updates. These program updates are focusing on the mental health and wellness program. We have graduate certificates in mental health and wellness with an emphasis in family dynamic studies, and graduate certificate in mental health and wellness with an emphasis in integrative health coming soon. So those are 16 credit programs. We're going to be seeing the start of those fairly soon. We're also planning on additional certificates and emphases to come soon as well. So we're seeing some exciting growth with the mental health and wellness program. Curriculum development, just to briefly go over what CDD, Curriculum Design and Development, does and their role with the college. So CDD facilitates the program and course development process for their degree programs. So we're talking about building new programs, talking about building courses and designing courses. This is who we collaborate with. So collaborating with CDD allows us to ensure standardization of documentation. It allows for consistency among the colleges, and it really just promotes student learning based on the university's mission statement and the requirements of the degree program. So CDD does support the program assessment process. Our college, CHAS, retains the responsibility for the program and program assessment. So when we're talking about CDD, we're working with CDD on course revisions. So let's look at some course revisions with psychology. Recently completed, there have only been revisions that have been done with textbook updates or adding resources. So with the Master's in Psychology courses, there have not been any recent major changes to assignments, topics, objectives, or grade points to any of those courses. We do have some upcoming changes coming to the Master's in Psychology courses, so we see that list there. So for example, Sci 580, Foundations of Human Factors, the Sci 662 down there, Health and Wellness, Research Methods, those are coming up for revisions. Those revisions can be a variety of things, including textbook updates. For the mental health and wellness program, revisions that have recently been completed, the ethics and cultural diversity in mental health and wellness, there have been some changes with that one. For example, topic 9 benchmark assignment was edited, and the benchmark assignment was added to topic 1. For mental health and wellness 631, the spiritual formation, identity, and wellness, there were some new resources added, as well as some clarification on assignment directions. The mental health issues in ministry class, there have been some new resources added as well. Those are just some examples of some revisions that have happened. And you can see the revisions in RoundCloud when you're teaching a course to see what new changes may have happened. Some upcoming revisions for these courses. There is a textbook update coming up for families in contemporary society, and then a course revision coming up for ethics and cultural diversity and mental health and wellness. So as these course revisions are coming up, we may be looking for SMEs, subject matter experts. So if you have not been a subject matter expert before, you don't know what that is, here is some information about what that entails. So the subject matter expert is someone who has expertise in the area of the class that is being developed or revised. It's a collaborative effort working together with CDD, with our college, CHAS, and then other SME subject matter experts. You will participate in meetings and teleconferences. submitting curriculum materials that are discussed with the team. So for example, reviewing and adding assignments, lecture content, things to that nature. So it's a lot of communication with the team, which could include providing updates, questions, concerns, and just working together to get that course edited or developed. So if you would like to be a SME for a course, or you notice the course that was coming up for revision that you would like to be involved in, you can email Dr. Noe Vargas, Assistant Dean, or you can email myself, Dr. Jacqueline Webster. So I am jacqueline.webster@gcu.edu.
Just type it.
All right, thank you. So that way you have my contact information if this is something that you're interested in. So it's a good way to get some input into courses that are being revised and developed. Another way to give your input is making sure that you fill out the faculty end of course survey. So filling out this survey helps you give your input about the courses that you teach. So similar to that, the students fill out a survey at the end of the course. So students filling out the end of course survey provides information about the course and instructor. And this is important because it provides helpful feedback to show how we're doing as a department. So if we look at some of the information coming from the end of course surveys, this is looking at some of the psychology courses. So we see from this chart, we have the course listed. We have the success rate. So it looks like the students are completing this course, which is really good. This is exciting information to look at. That we have 100% up there for size 583. Then the lowest success rate looks like 83.9%. So this is good, 81.3, sorry, for size 580. So this is some good information. As we continue looking at this chart, the Likert scales are on a 5-point scale. So the students have rated instructors on how engaged the instructor is, the useful feedback, instructor expertise, and whether they would recommend the instructor. So these numbers are pretty good. We have a lot of 4s and above on the 5-point scale. We do want to look at some of these 3s that we see. So for example, size 550 for recommended instructor Likert is at 3.9. And then size 575 is at 3.9 for the useful feedback and instructor expertise, as well as the recommended instructor is at 3.8. So those two classes, size 550 is research methods, 575 is organizational behavior and development. We go to the next one. We have some additional psychology classes. Again, the success rate's pretty high for these. And then we want to look at size 632, which is at physical health and the biology of aging. We have some 3.9 and 3.8 for this course, and size 655, which is strategies for effective leadership and confrontation. We have 3.5, 3.7, 3.8. So as we're looking into maybe teaching these courses, looking at what we can do to help increase those Likert scores for these particular classes. Anyone on the line, does anyone have any ideas for what we can do for these particular classes?
No, there's an part.
Everybody.
Anybody have any feedback for those classes that you think may be helpful for anyone else?
Okay.
Okay. So something to think about, especially as you're teaching these different courses. The next one we have is going to be for the mental health and wellness. So this one I have these on one slide, so there's a little bit more on this one. Thank you. So the courses to look at for this one. Thank you. So we see the 520 group dynamics, which is 3.9, just for the recommended instructor one. 521 is in the threes going across, which is integrating psychology and Christian theology. The mental health and wellness 524, prevention throughout the lifespan. So that one has one that is in the threes. And then the 631, spiritual formation, identity, and wellness has two. So just looking at these topics and seeing or thinking about how we may be able to engage the students more in these particular topics may be helpful or something to think about. Overall, these scores are in the fours, so they're doing pretty good. All right, so let's go over some resources for you, for the faculty. So just a reminder for scheduling, you can contact faculty services. So if you're teaching cohort ground classes, you can contact Laura Benson. And if you're teaching online, you can contact Erica Goldbach.
There was a question on the chat from Gloria Bravo Gutierrez. Just curious what Psych 655 is.
655 is Strategies for Effective Leadership and Consultation. Thank you for that question. Yes. Just a reminder that you can utilize the library services as a resource. It's a great resource. We have a great library here. We have over 100 databases, over 76,000 full text journal titles, a lot of ebooks. There's a lot of information that you can access. As we see here, our library services include being able to ask a librarian. So that is not just available for students, that's available for you as faculty as well. Same with the interlibrary loan. You as faculty can utilize that service. The tutorials and webinars, I encourage you to utilize those. There is a calendar of upcoming webinars available to faculty. So one of these includes the GCU Library for Faculty. So that's good because it covers how to navigate the website, an overview of library services, and some resources for faculty that you can use, maybe even if you just need to brush up on some of that information.
There was not to backtrack a little bit, Gloria asked another question regarding the strategies for effective leadership consultation. She was wondering specifically if there were is there a role-playing part of the curriculum? And you may not know that.
Yeah.
It would definitely be something, Gloria, we would have to investigate the curriculum.
Yeah. You can contact me directly. You can email me, and I can look into more specifically your question and get that information to you about what's involved in that course. Thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the library. Just also remember that you can also request and schedule group library instruction for your class, and that's for both ground and online classes. So that's something that is beneficial for the students that you can provide to them as well. We'll go back to. All right, so one of the other resources that I wanted to point out that may not be utilized very much is a resource known as Psych Therapy. It's a video database through the APA, and it's available through our GCU library. This allows students to watch actual therapy sessions to see how the therapy topics that you may be discussing in your courses are applied. So if you go through the library and click on Find Journal Articles, then you'll see that you click on Streaming Media, and that's going to take you to this page here. And this is where you get some information about what psychotherapy is. So click here. We see you have the psychotherapy teaching guide. So that's something you can use so you can figure out maybe how this could be useful in your classes, what are some ways you can incorporate this into your classes, how it may be beneficial to your students. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. The browse by section, there are some different ways you can browse these different videos. So you can browse by title. If there's a particular therapist in mind that you're discussing, you can browse by therapist. Therapeutic approach you can browse by, and then also topics. And then if you look at the top right corner, there is a section for clips that may be kind of hard to notice, but this is also something that you can look at if you don't want to show a full video. You can show some short clips to your students as well.
Yvonne DeMoss had a good question about if this could be built into the course as a link. That wouldn't that be something to suggest with the CDD team?
Yeah, and that's a good collaboration that we talked about with CDD. That is a good suggestion. We can look at doing that because this is a helpful resource.
Okay.
So this just gives an example of what this would look like. So for example, if you were talking about the psychodynamic approach and wanted to show some videos, you can scroll through and see what types of psychodynamic approach has been used at various topics and situations, and let the students observe these videos. You can see that the videos could be, between 30 minutes to 45, 50 minutes long. So that's what I was saying. If you go to the next slide, we see a list of clips, and the clips are a lot shorter. So we have some that, matter of seconds to minutes to longer if needed. So some resources for students, just some things to keep in mind. This is, especially if you have ground students, we do have a counseling and psychology practicum fair coming up on October 23rd from 4 to 6:30. So this is for students who are looking to get involved, maybe intern, get an idea of different organizations. This is something you can let your students know about, especially if you are teaching on ground or have ground students or students in Arizona. And then again, this is something if you have ground students or students in Arizona, the Children's Museum, it has a volunteer program. So students who are interested in psychology or mental health and wellness that want to work with kids and want to maybe put something on their resume about volunteer experience working with children, this is a good opportunity to do so. You can give them this information, give them that contact person's information. All they need to do is contact her, and she'll let them know the different opportunities that are available to them. And that could be behind the scenes or maybe working directly with different projects that the museum puts on. Okay, are there any questions?
To get another key.
All right, we have everybody unmuted for the time being. If you have any questions, program specific, or for psychology or MHW programs and courses.
So how you doing? This is Dr. Moriel McDuffie. So I guess my question is, so you have these, is there any way they could integrate some of the therapeutic tools in terms of the videos into some of the MHW courses? And I say that because I teach, it's a couple different programs, and what happens is a couple courses, including MHW 630 and 643. But what ends up happening is when they're talking, because you have it seems that we have a two types of students. You have the ones who are more clinical background for mental health, and then you have the clinical background. You have the students who are more healthcare oriented. So what ends up happening when you're talking about something mental health, a lot of the healthcare students are a little bit lost. So I think that might be, integrating some of those videos into the curriculum may be a a win for them because they end up asking a lot of different questions. I don't think they understand some of the mental health processes and how they work.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense. And that's something that you can do at your discretion, depending on the specific course you're teaching. It may not necessarily fit with some courses as it would fit more with others.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's see. Yvonne DeMott says, can we get a handout on the new mental health track and the changes, differences to help answer students' questions and or a resource to direct them to? There definitely is a resource as far as their track is concerned. That would be their student service counselor has their track automatically as soon as they enroll in their program. But as far as possible resources, Jackie, for the track itself, for instructors, that's definitely
something I can do. Getting.
Great question.
Yeah, it is. And something, if you want specific information too, something I'm open to you emailing me about, providing you information so you know where your students are going and doing.
Good question.
Is there another question?
Any other questions? New instructors that are out there that just have questions about their courses? Happy to help.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we hear you.
Who's speaking?
Hi, I'm on the phone. This is Ann Box-Starling. I'm an adjunct. I missed
Hi,
the
Ann.
first couple minutes. Hi, everybody. Hey, I missed the first couple minutes because I was finishing teaching a class and then jumped on just now. I just heard where somebody said we could email them to request information on the new mental health counselor master's degree. Could we get that email again? Because I have a lot of graduate students that are asking me about it, and I don't really know too much about it yet.
No problem, Ann. And this, just so you know, this webinar is actually recorded too. But if you're just on your phone, we can give you it.
Yeah, my email is Jacqueline, JACQUELINE .Webster, WEBSTER @gcu.edu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At GCU.edu. Okay, got it. Got it.
And then Gloria asked a question of, when looking for feedback on modules, what exactly are you looking for from faculty? So as far as faculty and of course survey, what questions or what kind of feedback are you looking for when they put those comments in?
I would say any feedback of material that you see students really struggling with. If you have information that you feel might help the course more, anything that you feel would be beneficial for the students in learning the material, as well as something that could be helpful for the instructor teaching it. If you've noticed there are any mistakes in the material that's in there, anything like that would be helpful.
Thanks, Gloria.
Thank you.
Any other questions out there?
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate everyone for attending.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gloria, we see your comment, a more immediate way to submit feedback. As far as for immediate feedback.
Yeah, send me an email, and I can also direct you to a link or email with CDD for that as well. So immediate feedback, you can go ahead and send me an email, and I'll let you know if you can send it. That was a good question. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.